I think that most people can take one look at this children's toy and see that it looks demonic and or possessed. I think that the elites of this world are waging a war against the youth. This war is a spiritual war. Welcome to Truth for the Youth, and I am your host, as always, the one and only Max Vapor. Today, we are going to discuss the craze that has taken the world by storm, and that would be Labubu. In my humble opinion, I think that most people can take one look at this quote unquote children's toy and see that it looks demonic and or possessed. Considering all of the news that has been going around lately, I think that the elites of this world are waging a war against the youth. This war is a spiritual war. When you consider all of the troubling things that are now surfacing about this toy called Labubu, things such as a child taking a nap and waking up with claw marks on her neck, to another person trying to go into church with the Labubu toy strapped to her purse or bag, and that Labubu toy somehow becoming unhooked and falling to the ground before she could enter the building. However, I am not certain about the veracity of these claims. I mean, they seem true, but I wasn't there to view it. So it could be anyone's guess if people are undergoing some form of mass hysteria or trying to capitalize on the algorithmic craze that is social media in order to obtain clout, as the youth say. However, I do believe that these claims warrant a closer inspection of the origins of Labubu. Let's get into the facts. Labubu was created by Kaisung Lung in 2015. He released a picture book entitled The Monsters, which was based on Norse fairy tales and mythology. In 2019, Kaisung Lung entered into an exclusive licensing agreement with Pop Mart. The CEO of Pop Mart, a man by the name of Wang Ning, is estimated to be worth roughly $22 billion, according to Forbes. These Labubu toys are sold in what is known as blind box packaging, which keeps the Labubu's identity a secret until it is unboxed, which can obviously lead to overspending or even be seen as a form of gambling. Now, when it comes to the, let's just call it a troubling visage of the Labubu, some have claimed that its appearance and its overall origin is based on the Assyrian and Babylonian demon known as Pazuzu. This is patently false. And to be honest, I'm not sure how this correlation even occurred. Could it possibly be that people are not doing their due diligence and proper research and just running with the narrative that has already been put forward? Or could it be another case of The Simpsons and their blatant and repeated cases of predictive programming. For the true origins of Labubu, we have to look no further than the creator's own confession that these characters are based on Nordic mythology. Also, based on what I've seen and researched, there could be several possible inspirations for Labubu. But first, let's start with the obvious one from Norse mythology, which would be Loki. It is said that the character traits of Labubu are of it being kind hearted and trying to help, but unintentionally ending up causing chaos. Now, in Nordic mythology, Loki is seen as mischievous and as a trickster that inevitably causes chaos and confusion. The Norwegian people that practice this religion or mythology or belief system routinely saw Loki as a helpful ally and also as a destructive adversary to the gods like Odin, Tyr, and Thor. Now, although Marvel movies have basically changed our perception or the way we view Loki today, we can go back to the ancient times and take a look at sources like the Durham Cathedral stone carving or the Snapton stone carving to get a more accurate depiction of what Loki was believed to have looked like. Diving deeper into Norse mythology, you will see that there are creatures like the elves and the dwarves. Even the creator of Labubu, Kai Sing Lung, stated that these characters from his picture book, The Monsters, are supposed to be elves living in a forest. Now, I'm sure there is some form of artistic inspiration when it comes to him creating his characters and him ingesting these Nordic fairy tales, folklore, and mythology and sprinkling in his own bit of artistic creativity. But these creatures do not resemble the typical Nordic elves, whether they be light elves or dark elves. But when it comes to the other creatures that are mentioned in Norse mythology, I think this is more specifically where Kaising Lung takes a artistic inspiration from when it comes to the look and design of these characters. I believe that other than Loki, an even better source of possible inspiration would be the mythical creature known as the kobold, which is the generic name for a household spirit. It is said to make noises while still remaining invisible, similar to ghosts that haunt homes or other objects. It is said that the kobold can be helpful by performing kitchen chores and other duties, but that it can also be a prankster. And this entity must be offered a bribe in order for its efforts to be pointed towards a more helpful direction. A subtype of the kobold is known for wearing a pointy red cap. Another creature that I came across in my research that might fit as the inspiration for the Labubu is a mythical creature from the Netherlands that is the blow Garrett. I'm probably butchering that pronunciation, but basically, this creature is nicknamed the Tease Ghost. It is said that this creature is a forest spirit associated with a blue light, but thrives in loneliness and darkness, yet somehow also is said to have an ape like appearance and teases or helps people as well as helping them to get justice. Now, when it comes to Nordic folklore, there are a plethora of possible inspirations that Labubu's creator could have drawn from. And I have given you just a few of the potential targets that could have been a sort of melding pot in the creation of the Labubu. However, I feel that it is important to note that the creator, Kaising Lung, designed Labubu based on Nordic folklore and mythology that he was drawn to in his youth when he briefly moved there to the Netherlands when he was younger. And it is said that Labubu, or the tribe of Labubus, are kind hearted, yet they often try to help and somehow end up causing chaos, which of course draws parallels to the creatures that I mentioned earlier from Norse mythology. Although some may see these figures as harmless and cute, but when you view this product from a Christian lens, you can see that the original inspiration for this figure was based on what we would consider to be fallen angels and evil spirits. So, with that being the case, no, these things are not just innocent collectibles. They are based off of creatures that are said to cause mischief. And yet somehow people are so crazy about these toys that to me it almost seems to verge on the point of worshiping an idol. There are tons of plushy toys and figurines out there that do not reach this level of virality. So I can only wonder, what is it about these specific toys that cause people to cling to them so fiercely? Could it be that the evil spirits that these figures are based on are feeding off of the energy that so many people are giving to this product, and thus potentially opening a portal into the spiritual realm that is allowing these evil spirits a doorway or a gateway to latch on to these figures through and inhabit them, similar to other cursed objects that have appeared in the past. As of right now, it's a bit too soon to tell what type of impact these figures will have on the mental health of young people across the globe. It's too early to tell if this new fad will simply fade away like so many other trends before it, from Cabbage Patch dolls to Beanie Babies. The only thing that I can say for certain is to be careful and to not blindly follow trends simply because of FOMO or groupthink or the herd mentality that we humans are susceptible to. Use your spiritual discernment and make sure you stay in the Word so that you can have access to the Holy Spirit and be open to the Lord's voice when He calls. With that being said, I want everyone out there to stay safe and protected. So be blessed in the name of Yeshua. Peace.